What is it with Twitter?
Oh, I don't know. Sometimes I love it, sometimes I hate it.
What is it? What's that about?
I don't know.
Like you can just, say a thought and someone will pick something out of it. It's mad.
Give me examples.
Like I tweeted about Love Island final, obviously, Millie and Liam. And I was like, the people that voted for Millie and Liam, like, this is just a joke.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, the people that voted for Millie and Liam are the same girls that blame the girl instead of the fella when they cheat. And I mean, some of the hot takes.
Oh, I didn't look at the replies. I saw your tweet.
Yeah, no, I like, when you tweet it and you kind of don't think about it, and then I opened up my phone and I was like, oh no, here we go.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Any tweet over 100 likes, you're asking for trouble. That's what I mean. I'm like, I swear to God, I'm not asking for trouble, but I can't do anything.
No.
I can't do anything, girls. They're trying to censor me. Me and John Cleese going to be doing that together now, that cancelled thing.
Meanwhile, crazy house prices, Kieran Mulqueen, put up a tweet about a €1,200 bedsit. I'm going to say...
Oh, I saw where you can open the oven with your foot.
Yeah. And I tweeted back to him saying, the bar is low when your first thought is, I've seen worse. And I have a healthy 30 likes on that and no drama. So that's how I'm doing. And you are very welcome along to the Unpopular Opinion podcast. My name is Jen.
And my name is Carla.
Can I just be really cringy here? With our new equipment, I feel like I'm in a radio station.
Yes.
Doesn't it feel like that?
Yeah, it does.
Because I just pressed a button.
Yeah, it's just like, there you go, and away we go. And
we've no screen in front of us. We just have a dick. We just have a dick.
Sound like something else right there.
I like saying dick, like I'm from New Zealand. I did a test because we have it's a funky dick, and it has like buttons and stuff that you put your jingles and shit like that on it. And I did a little test record last night, and I don't know why, but I did it in an Icelandic accent.
Which would be?
I don't really know. You know the Eurovision film where Will Ferrell in it? Yes. And Rachel Adams? Yes. I just kind of copied them. Ah. So it's like, I'm doing a test, yeah? I sound like I'm from Iceland. I sound like I'm Icelandic, yeah?
Are they
Icelandic sounds very like a not really a word. Icelandic like sounds stupid. Doesn't it? I feel like there should be a different name for Icelandic people.
I don't feel like you're... as in calling them
like the
Icelandic.
Actual word Icelandic is just... doesn't sound...
I suppose, though, it's given the full... Where they're from. It's given the full juice, isn't it?
Yeah, but we're not called Irelandic.
We're called Irish.
Yeah.
So...
Icish. Put it out there. Petition.
I'm just saying, guys.
Not our worst idea.
Not our worst idea. No. Not our best.
Definitely not our worst.
Definitely not our worst.
This is your gentle reminder as well that we are also on Patreon. Click the link in the description if you want to pop on over there. For €6 a month, you can get 5 extra episodes, 4 mini-sodes, which always run out to be the same length as the main-sodes, which is what we call these ones. Every Monday, they go out. Bit more fun, bit more BTS. Behind the scenes. Behind it. And then an extra bonus episode each month with a special guest.
Yes.
You can get all that.
All of it.
For your €6.
All of it.
This episode is about... What is it about? Things that
things that are embarrassing but aren't.
Things that feel
embarrassing but aren't.
Embarrassing.
So I don't know where I got the idea for this. Probably off that Hell Bird site. But like it was just something.
What Hell Bird site?
Twitter.
Oh, Devil Bird site.
Devil Bird site. Devil Bird app. Just wanted to do something a bit of crack.
Yeah.
Bit of a lull, you know what I mean? So I thought I'd ask everybody else, like, what do you guys feel is embarrassing but really isn't embarrassing?
But I think everybody, like, because we had a different idea for this episode, but it was like, let's have a bit of fun. Because I think everybody has a thing, and it might be personal to them. Because I have a thing that I witnessed today, and I was like, oh, I better mention that on the podcast later on. But I don't know if you're going to know what I mean when I say this. But I think we all have that common ground that we have things that feel embarrassing but aren't. So, say for instance, right, say you're going into work, you're in a communal area. Right, you go over to the radio and you press the on button. That's not embarrassing, right? But if you go up to what we have in work, which is a laptop, and you have to personally select the internet radio station that you're going to listen to that day, when you turn around and go to walk back to your seat, I feel scarlet. I don't know whether it's because I don't know what it is.
Yeah, no, it's like when you go to the bathroom in class or something, you're walking back in, you're like, this is the worst. No, I don't feel like that. No? I think it's got to do with the actual, you've turned on the music and now you're like, just, I don't know, just fucking head down. It's like, say, you're in your gaff and you're having a nice night in with your other half and you turn on the music. I just find that scarlet. I don't know what it is. It's like the music that you select. It's like when somebody says put on a playlist and you put one on, you're almost like, I'm letting you in. I'm letting you in, you guys. Or like if you say I don't particularly remember a time that I've ever put on music to have anything. But imagine turning on. Imagine being like, this is just my sex playlist. Yeah, but even in films when they turn on the music and then they turn around, I'm just like, I'm scarlet for you. Yeah. Oh, I want to die. Yeah, I can't. You're like, that's so embarrassing, man. Yeah, it's the actual turn around, and it's like, it's that moment. I hope other people can relate to me because it's so fucking hard to explain. It's just when the music starts playing and I turn around to the look at the room, I'm just like, oh, get me back to VC. And then you're out of that moment and you're fine. So weird. So that's embarrassing. Yeah, I get it. It's very like, I don't know, it's very intrusive because you're like, people are going to judge you on what. Yeah. Or like, you know, when you have a playlist come on and a dodgy song comes on. Yes. And you're like, I'm so sorry, everybody. That's actually really funny. It was a really funny story. I was actually on my 6th year holiday, right? And then I was out for brunch last week and we just all thought it was so funny. And I put it on. Anyway, don't judge me. Yeah. I really do like the Ketchup Girls. It's such ketchup song. Ketchup Girls. Last Ketchup. Last Ketchup. It is the Ketchup Girls. You're thinking of the Cheeky Girls. And Last Ketchup as a one unit. So Last Ketchup, and what's their song called? Did you know that song is a hip hop, the hip to the hip hop, and you don't stop, but like a stupid version of it? No. Yes. Listen to it. Wow. I saw a TikTok and it was like, did you know? Because if you listen to the words, it's like hip hop, hip, or whatever thing is. Yeah. Wow. Almost wow. Wild behaviours. Get money out of an ATM. Yeah. Paying for petrol when it's not like a full tank. Like, do you remember back in the day, right? You know when we all started driving and you'd actually go and you'd have the audacity to put €5 petrol in your car. Yeah. You'd be back the next day putting in another €5, but you just couldn't part with 10. You couldn't part with 10. So, right. Didn't have the budget. I don't know whether this is true or not. So I always fill the tank, right? I have funds set aside to fill the tank, and I won't really, until I'm 1 bar left or my thing is fucking screaming at me, I won't fill it up. But I always have the money there that's not like a brag. That's the way. So when you get paid, do you put your tank money aside or what? Yeah, that's what I would do. It's not that I'm flush, because I'm definitely not. But Adam, he only ever puts a tenner. Well, just before he had a fuel card for work, but he only ever put a tenner in his tank because his reasoning behind it was, if you put a full tank in, your car is heavier, so it burns more petrol quicker. I don't think that's true. Neither do I, but he's insistent on it. Like, he's like, no, little and often, because it gets you further because the car isn't as heavy. And I'm just like, no, you're running the arse out of it, as they say. But there's nothing I hate more than putting petrol in. It's like my most hated task. Yeah. It's like, it's one of my worst things ever. Like, when I go into that red, I'm like, for fuck's sake. Or there's nothing worse than when you forget that you, oh my god, and you've somewhere to go, and you're like, I'm not gonna make it. I'm literally not gonna make it. I'm gonna have to be late. It's not even that. It's like, you're like, oh no, I'll get it tomorrow or whatever. And then the next day it's pissing out, and then you get into the car and you've completely forgotten at this stage, and then it comes on, it goes meh,
I'm like, oh, shut the fuck up. Or
range, 60 kilometres. And then you look at it and it's like range 2 kilometres. I'm like, hey, what? I just literally drove out of the estate.
Yeah, I know. And sometimes when you turn the corner, whatever way I don't know why it's not a weight gauge. If it was a weight gauge, it keeps all happy. But it's like, it seems to be a sensor in the tank. So when you turn a certain way, or if the car is tilted and the petrol goes up over the sensor, it'll start telling you that you have petrol or diesel again. And then when you turn the other way, it's happened to me a few times, yeah. Wherever the sensor is. Because it's a level.
Oh, yeah, it's a level. Because I always just...
This is why I'm like,
these
why
are things
can't
I
you
don't
be
think
awake?
about, though. Do you know what I mean? I don't think about how the car knows the car doesn't have petrol.
Yeah.
What did they do back in the day? Did they guess?
Ah, yeah. I'd say so.
It's panic.
Yeah. That's when they used to siphon it in. You ever seen somebody siphoning petrol out of a car, you sucking it out of a hose?
Yeah, legit.
That's embarrassing.
That is embarrassing. That is, yeah, that's just straight up embarrassing. That's not even things that you think that are embarrassing.
Like, needs to be done, but like...
Yeah, needs to be done. Needs must. Needs must, yeah. Those kind of things are embarrassing. There's lots of little bits that I feel like I've forgotten now. But it's all that kind of like, packing your bag anywhere.
Ah, yeah.
At Duns or Lidl or Aldi or wherever you shop.
Well, Aldi and Lidl need to fucking...
Aldi doesn't have anything anymore. It's like that lettuce is going straight through and falling onto the floor. There's no like little, what you call it, end part. It's it. That's it. Every time I'm like, oh shit.
Have they changed it?
It's like the one in Blanche in the centre. Nothing. Absolutely not a thing there. There's nothing there. It literally, into the abyss. Beep it through, into the abyss. Beep it through, into the abyss. Yeah.
Their conveyors are quite long though, aren't they? You can get all your shopping onto a conveyor.
Oh no, the conveyor is fine. It's the fact that they beep it through.
But that's what I mean. You can get your trolley down to the other end before they start.
Yeah, but what if, like, I'm not a big trolley user.
Right, okay.
So I never have a euro.
And if you don't have your forever bag to go.
Euro, you know? Like, what if you just haven't thought that far?
And a lot of us haven't.
We haven't. We're just existing. Step by step.
It's
beat by beat.
It's Aldi's world and we're living in it.
Lettuce by lettuce.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
And they don't give a shit, don't they? Not they're trained that way.
Well, I've heard many rumours over the years, but I don't think that that's true anymore. Like, I heard that they used to be timed and they get bonuses, but I'm like, surely they can't force a customer to pay quicker.
Yeah.
You know? Or if a customer's card declines or if this happens or that happens, they can't do anything about that, you know?
Yeah. I know, it's always been a bit of a myth. I'd love if somebody who works in Aldi let us know.
Yeah, and we can do a correction on the next episode.
Do an interview with them.
Oh my God, let's do an episode on Aldi.
Fucking yes.
Aldi and Lidl.
That sounds like
Lidl and Aldi workers.
A mini-sode.
Tell me your secrets.
Yeah. Oh, if you know somebody who would not be embarrassed to come on a podcast, we'd love to talk. Let's chat.
Yeah, you'd be surprised the amount of people who are embarrassed to go on a podcast.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it'd be the same as going on radio or telly. Like, my dad won't even get in a photo.
Yeah.
Do you know?
That generation, though, no?
So weird. I won't even get into me dad with photos. Not a fucking picture to be had of Jennifer Hatton when she was a baby.
Really?
Oh, stop. Now, people who have been following me for a while, fair play to you for sticking around. Because I'm not very entertaining. Yeah, no, they'll know the story. There's no pictures of me as a very young baby. And my ma's alibi is that you just didn't take pictures of sick babies in them days. And then my dad's alibi was that he had no camera. But where I would like to, like, I'd like to question him is because he used to have, it wasn't even like, I've had a conversation with my sister about this. It wasn't even like the 80s version of a DSLR. It was like it was a proper camera with a big flash that you attached. Like, it wasn't just a disposable camera. It was this shit. And my dad is like Inspector Gadget. He loves his bits. He has the little cases for everything. He keeps everything really safe. He has scarlet lids from the 50s. Like, he loves tech. All of his little bits, right? So I know he wouldn't have just fucked it out. He wouldn't have broken it. If it was stolen, I would have heard of that. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, he had that camera 5 years previous to my birth. And he's, like, for some reason, there's just no photos of me. Loads of my sister. So I keep accusing them of adopting me. You know? I do look a little bit Polish. Could be Russian.
Eastern European.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could.
Yeah. You could actually.
Me
I'd
and
love to
sister
get that ancestry thing done.
Yeah. We said
I'd
we'd
say
do
it's
that.
gonna be, yeah, we
the
did.
pod.
And I'd say mine is Irish. I don't know where I'm going.
Hmm.
But then I don't know because I have brown eyes.
You do have, but that brown is the most common eye colour in the world.
Yeah, but not for this region.
Yeah.
Not for this region, Jen.
Yeah.
Yeah, think about that, huh?
There you go.
Mm-hmm. It's probably like Irish.
Yeah.
Irish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think a lot, isn't it Celtic? So like there's certain, like Scotland, Wales, they'd be all kind of Celtic.
They're all like Celtic region. I'd be like, yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Norway. Icelandic. No.
Icelandic.
No,
Icelandic.
not Icelandic.
Hello, Icelandic.
Yeah. Okay. So have you got any, I'm sorry, I'm just after seeing one there and I'm like, yes, I agree. Give me an example of something that feels embarrassing to you, but isn't
I just did.
Yeah, I know, but give me something else.
I'm trying, like, this is what I mean. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. There's many, many things that I hate, like doing, walking into any kind of room. Like, you know, when you're getting your MOT or anything like that. Oh, Scarlett.
Oh, waiting room.
Yeah.
Waiting
rooms. Doctor's waiting room. Get me out of this gaff. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. It's you know, when you're just standing there, just like a spare tissue, just like, hey.
Yeah. What pisses me off as well is that the receptionist needs to know everything, and there's always a glass pane.
Oh,
so you have to shout in at her.
So like I was only in my doctor's earlier, and it's like the reception part faces into the waiting room. Do you get me?
Yeah.
So it's like you're almost standing side by side, and the chairs are facing at it.
Oh god.
So it's almost as if they're like front row watching a show.
Yeah, that's
and the show is me explaining all of my issues. You know.
Or if you have to go into a place like that with my doctors lately has gone that. Well, obviously with restrictions and stuff, people can't be just sauntering in. But you press a bell, waiting for somebody to fucking answer. I'd be mortified. Especially if there's like a group of people in the vicinity. Like when I was trying to get up to your apartment there was 2 kids downstairs. I was like, oh, no, very nice. He let me in. Mm-hmm. But I was like, oh, I have to wait here now. And they're just going to be looking at me going, she's an outsider.
Sorry, do you know what else is embarrassing? Meeting neighbours on the road.
Oh, no, I know. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're like, oh, here we fucking go. I'm going to have it. Hiya, how are you getting on, Catherine? How are you? Yeah, no, the weather's awful, isn't it? Sure, God, yeah. Sure, the sun, where's it gone? Yeah. And how are you getting on in your house, sister? And you're just like, get me out. Like, I sit in the car and I wait for them to go in.
Do you?
I hate small talk.
Yeah.
I hate taxi small talk.
Oh, yeah.
So when I used to work back in the day, when I used to work in, when I used to fly back and forth to London a lot, one of my sales partner at the time, she was from Cork. So the two of us used to fly, like she'd fly, we'd go to Heathrow, she'd fly Cork, I'd fly Dublin, Grant, whatever. But we used to take a lot of taxis together, obviously. And I remember one time she just blindsided me. We were at some kind of like work dinner or something, you know, where you're like, they're in a crowd. And I don't know how it got onto the topic of small talk and blah, blah, blah. And she was like, sure, no worries, you get absolutely no small talk out of Carla. And I was like, huh? And she was literally like, every taxi, you just can't do it. You can't even, you just can't. You just, there's no small talk out of you. Like there's none. You just like, I see them try, I give them a bit back and forth and she's like, but you, like, what is it? Are you a toddler?
She's sitting in the taxi with you going, she's in a bad mood. What's wrong with her?
But it's just, I don't know what it is. I think it's just because I like to, like, you know, when you're getting your nails done or your hair done.
I know. Don't be talking to me. Yeah.
Like 100%. When people, like when I have clients, when I'm doing makeup, I always give them I'll like go off there. If they're not speaking, I won't speak because I'm like, it's a nice, and you set the tone. You're paying for this. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's nothing worse when you're like dreading going to get your nails done or dreading to go and get your hair done because they won't shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Is there now?
No, I know.
And you're like, oh my God, I'm going to have to go here and I'm going to have to speak for like.
And it's not a bad thing. Like those, like, geez, I'd actually love to be a social person and enjoy all of that. But I'd be like that. I'd be just kind of more.
I think it's too much. I think it's everything's too social. And then when it comes to like those things, I'm like, here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. How do they have the energy like?
Yeah, how do you keep like with clients you know? Because that's the thing. Back when I used to work on counter, by the end of the day I'd be drained. Like my energy would be sapped just from talking all day to customers.
Yeah.
That's the thing with retail. People forget that like you need that like brain, like you need to go and sit and watch an episode of Geordie Shore almost just to like unstick everything, unstick the trauma. Another really embarrassing thing when a dog sniffs your crotch.
Oh, Oh my God.
It shouldn't be embarrassing, but it's so embarrassing.
It's so embarrassing.
The armpit of the groin.
Yeah. I remember. Oh my God. Actually, and this is going to bring me on to another thing. This is a 2-for-1, if you will. I remember when I used to do taekwondo, I did it in Finglas, Leisure Point. And
Leisure Point, everybody go there.
Leisure Point.
Quote Jen Hatton.
Yeah. And I used to do, so I would go to my friend's house first. She lived in Finglas South and they had a dog called Rocky. And I remember I was a late developer. I started my period when I was 16.
Oh my God.
Yeah, loads of people call me really lucky. I was fucking dying for my period, I was. Got it on Christmas Day when I was 16.
Were you like,
yeah, fucking nice one. No, like, have it now, raging. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I had my period and I'd only started, so I would have been only 16, 17. And so Rocky smelled me crotch, right? Because dogs are drawn to... Did you ever hear that, like, when you were growing up or when you first start getting your period? That was always a thing. Or, well, maybe it was because I hung around with blokes, and it was a huge thing, obviously, when you hung around with blokes. It was like, oh, they stink smell when you have a period. I don't know whether that was an urban myth. It was always, like, always in the conversation when I was growing up. And I was like, okay, well, this is true, because Rocky can obviously sense I'm on my menstrual cycle.
Yeah.
He followed me all the way from Finglas South up to fucking Leisure Point, and I had to bring him back.
With his snout in your crotch?
He just followed me. So he had smelt me initially, and then I was It's not cute. I was mortified because I was like, what? My friend wasn't in. She was after being in work or something. I was going to meet her up there. So I was literally walking from her house. Her dad was. I was in the house. Her dad was blind, and I was after walking out, and I think Rocky fucking jumped out the window or something like that. Yeah, he jumped out the window and I had to bring him back because I was like, I can't fucking leave him outside Leisure Point. I was halfway up to Leisure Point. I was like, oh, he's not fucking, he keeps following me, like, so I had to bring him back. But this leads me on to another thing. When I did taekwondo, you have to start somewhere. Yeah. I was always mortified being a white belt. I was like, just give me a black one. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. It's like, I'm actually taking beginner swim.
It's like wearing a learner sign on your car. It was just real,
which is embarrassing also, even though it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be, no. But it just feels like...
Yeah, it just feels embarrassing. You
just
like,
feel like
so
the rookie.
Lame.
Yeah, I know. But you have to start somewhere, so it's absolutely not embarrassing, but it's just like... there's a fucking 3-year-olds with a purple belt, but whatever. I don't even think there is a purple belt. Blue belt, should I say.
How many belts is there?
White, yellow, green... blue, red tag, black. In taekwondo, I know karate is completely different.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's a purple one in karate.
Interesting behaviour. When little kids run into you.
Oh yeah.
You're like, you don't know who's embarrassed. Is the kid, is the parent, are you?
Or if a kid starts crying.
And oh my God, when you hold a kid and it starts crying and you're like mortified. When
you're absolutely not in the wrong.
No,
it's all the kids.
Not in the wrong at all. Yeah. Or no, do you know my big one? When you spill food on yourself, when you're out for lunch and you spill and you're like, oh,
yeah,
I would like to not exist anymore. Mm-hmm. You just feel sloppy, don't you? You feel like a baby. You feel like a big baby, and you need a bib, and you're like, I'm sorry, apologies.
Yeah.
Oh God, look at me! I'm using my t-shirt as a napkin again. You know, it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be.
I think we're going to get a lot of memories unlocked when we get into
listener stories.
So let's do that. First one I have here. Well, this person submitted to. Ordering a chipper and the windows glass and everyone can see you.
Yeah, you know, like when you're in the, like even the Blanche, the main, the Macquarie's there on the main road.
Oh yeah.
It's like anyone in traffic is just, hey. Sorry, memory unlocked. When you're playing music in your car and you pull up and you're just there with your music absolutely blasting. Like my car is the least soundproof car in the entire world. I don't know why, but it's so embarrassing because like anything above, like a whisper, anything above like, it's like everybody's partying to the song.
Right. Okay.
It's so embarrassing.
And that's funny that you say that. I wouldn't be embarrassed about that, but I pulled up at traffic lights the other day and there was a chap in, I want to say like a caravan, you know, the ones that to be like taxis, but they're not vans, but they're not cars.
Yeah.
They're like tin boxes. They're really like
Paddy wagon, no?
Kind of. I don't know. I feel like I want to say that they're real hollow. They're like little tin boxes. But anyway, he rocked up. He had all of his windows down. It was a hot day. And he was blasting Al Gibbs on FM like 104. It was like a load of rave music. And I looked over to him and I was like, that actually looks like a good bit of crack. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't going, Scarlet for him.
Freaks on Friday.
Yeah.
No, I like if my friends, for some reason they still do it, if they like drive down my road with their music blaring, I'm like, my stomach flops.
Really?
So I'm like, the neighbours are just going to be like, seriously.
Yeah.
Give it a mo.
She also said, pulling your wheelie bin in when it's empty and it just flies around. Pull it and like one wheel, you get the trajectory wrong and like it's up the little lip, of the driveway.
Yeah.
And one wheel goes up.
But the
other one, like...
It proper bounces around. And you're like, sorry.
Sometimes it's like...
Or when it's your wheelie bin that's after falling over. And you're like, oh, that's so embarrassing. I'm not even looking at that.
You're a holy shit. You're the black horse of the family. Black sheep.
Oh, God, that's so embarrassing. Yeah, no.
Scarlet for me. Black horse of the family.
Black horse of the family. Black sheep.
Black sheep, yeah.
Someone said here, doing a really, really, really loud, fast and long wee in a quite a public toilet. And you try and direct your fanny so that it falls in the actual bowl of the toilet, but your flow isn't cooperating and it's making a really nice splash noise.
Do you ever try to force a piss out and it sounds so violent? Do you ever?
Oh, when you're trying to be fast or something, and it's like, it sounds like actual...
Oh, that's brilliant. I love it. A tip though, and with the Lindsay episode on Patreon, as we were talking about like our, what happens in the toilet sometimes. Really good tip. Put toilet roll down the toilet before you go. It eliminates a lot of problems.
Eliminates a lot of
for both like sound and sight. Do you know?
Sight?
For number 2.
Who's looking?
I'm talking about skid marks being left behind because she was talking about the toilet brush.
Oh, I didn't know.
And I was like, yeah, but you wouldn't need it.
Oh, I didn't know what you're talking about.
But you just kept talking and I forgot what I was going to say there.
I didn't know.
No, back then in that episode. Putting diesel in the car, it's a need, but just standing there with a pump and filling it is just wet.
Yeah, it is. You're just kind of like, well,
yeah,
we're all here now, aren't
it's
we?
Like you don't know where to look. Isn't it?
Yeah, it's a real kind of like, you'd love to be on your phone. Like, we can't not be without our phones anymore. So
That's
it's like, I'd love to be on my phone right now.
Yeah, you're not allowed
for the 2 minutes. You're not allowed your moby wops. You're not allowed to have a fag.
I will.
You can't spark up.
Fuck's sake.
Raging.
What
I cannot
can't you
be.
do?
I know, on the phone, having a fag.
Yeah.
Oh, rage.
It's not like the old days.
No, it is.
Actually,
it used to be.
I'm just after thinking of something there, and I don't know where it came from, but when you get used to, not so much anymore because I drive, but getting on a bus. It's not embarrassing getting on a bus, but it's when you pay and then you start walking and you're like scouring the place for somewhere to sit. I could only fucking imagine how hard it is now with the social distancing and there's seats that you're not allowed to sit in.
Oh my God, yeah, and you're just kind of like, and you can't find one, so then you have to turn back.
You can't find one, or you have to go upstairs on the bus while it's moving.
Oh, and you're rocking around.
Oh, it's fucking horrendous. Bus drivers don't give a fuck.
No, they're like, oh, is that the corner? Skrr.
Yeah, they
Tokyo
just pull
Drift.
Off, like... They just
Fully.
put off. Yeah.
Like.
I brought Bobby on a bus the other day. He's obsessed with buses.
Really?
So I just brought him down to the playground.
That's a cheap activity for you, isn't it?
I'm telling you, he's such a cheap day. Because he's always like, the bus. Like, we always bring him on a walk around the estate and he'll always want to sit at the bus stop on the little seat. So I put him in. Of course, he had a poo at the bleeding bus stop. Had to stop off in the centre. I had no supplies.
Good on him. Dead right.
The one in Plant did change.
There's one thing that the Blanchardstown Centre need. It's more kids shitting themselves.
Seriously. Fuck's sake. I had to go in and get a full packet of nappies and a full packet of wipes. But I will say, actually, and if you didn't know this, and I raged and I didn't actually leave any because I was only after buying a brand new packet of nappies. The changing area down at the red entrance in Blanche, and I think it's only in... one for the interim while the one upstairs is getting done. They had an award-winning baby changing area anyway, but this one, it was actually like it's set up really well, but there was a basket with nappies and wipes and baby sacks in it. I was like, I'm just after buying. Now they weren't the right size for Bobby, but I was just after buying them. I was like, oh, that That's actually fucking
Just
great.
after buying some, I could have
Thanks.
nicked all these.
Yeah. No, there was only about 3 of them and they were the wrong size. But I was like, I should have fucking left some. I was only thinking of it today. I should have left some of mine, you know, because it's that age group that you probably would just leave the house and be like, oh, they'd be grand. We're only leaving for 10 minutes. And then, of course, you see the face.
And you're like,
yeah.
Great.
Like,
Thank you
what
for...
are you doing?
Right. Thank you for coming here.
And Bobby's gone to the stage where it's like, I'll say, if he's doing something, I'll go, Bobby, what did you do? Now he says that. He goes, Bobby, what did you do?
You're like, no, that's my... No, that's my...
Stop copying me.
No, that's my thing.
Are you a parrot?
That's my thing. How dare you? Walking out of the toilet or walking out of the shop with a 20-pack of toilet roll or that awkward shuffle onto the dance floor. Yeah. That like, are you supposed to be walking? Are you supposed to be like Rachel from Love Island strutting? Are you like, what are you? What's the vibe here? Are you supposed to like wiggle the hip, or are you supposed to just like walk as if you're going to the shop and then just like land where you want to land on the dance floor? Honestly,
do you know it's even when you're not into a song and it's like you just stop dancing?
Oh yeah, and you're just like, and you're like,
like at least. I will say, getting up to go and dance, at least you're probably already in. You're like, I love this song! And then you're going up and you're bopping up to that, you know what I mean? Both hands up. This isn't visual. Can't wait till we have a visual. That's grand. Like, that's kind of a natural progression. But it's like when the shit song, like fucking Come On Eileen comes on.
Yeah, and you're
just like, and then you just kind of fucking...
And then you're just kind of, you're even embarrassing yourself because you're like, I hate this so much. Oh my God, I love this one. Giving your name for reservations or bookings. Even if it's just your first name. Even worse if they make me spell it, especially my surname. Then I just give up when I give my boyfriend's 5-letter name. Yeah, I always do that. People are like, what's the name? I'm like, Tom.
Oh, I don't. Hey.
Or no, do you know what's so embarrassing? Every single time. I'm like, it's Carla. Can't find you. It's Carla with a K. And they're like, oh, oh no, there you are. Like, no, you couldn't find me because you were on the C panel. So get off the C panel. Yeah. Float down to the K panel. And it's just embarrassing, especially like at restaurants, especially those tiny restaurants. Or no, do you know what's so embarrassing? Getting refused from somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when you walk in, you're like, do you guys have a table? And they're like, table?
Yeah.
Are you actually, are you so dumb? Are you so dumb? No, we don't. I cannot believe. Oh, wait, right now? No, you dumb bitch. Get out of here. Oh my God. What is, and you're like, okay, well, Jesus, well, I'll leave. I'm sorry.
That's them making you. That's them embarrassing you.
But I don't get the attitudes.
I know, yeah.
It's like, oh,
it's like I haven't been here
for what?
all
For
day.
now?
Yeah.
For right now? Are you actually? Yeah, for right now. I'm staring at your restaurant. There's a couple of tables free there. All you had to say was we're fully booked.
Yeah.
That's all you had to say. Now I'm standing here and everybody stopped eating.
Yeah.
They're
all watching.
Instead of having dessert, they're having me.
This is all I need.
This is all I need right now.
This is just the ticket. Somebody here said, just walking down the street, to be honest. Sometimes, yeah. You're
just embarrassed by existing.
Yeah.
There's a word for that. I don't know what it is, but there is a word for that.
Surely there is. Like,
surely there's a word for that.
Yeah. Being sung happy birthday to with a cake.
Oh, especially in a restaurant. There's nothing worse. Like, it's just like
anywhere.
Fuming.
Yeah.
So embarrassed. Why did my family do this to me? Can't believe my friends didn't really like me. Wish they just ditched me a couple of years ago.
There is like they used to do it in work. My old job. I don't know. Have we had a birthday in my new job? Or no, we haven't really. So there hasn't been like the big happy birthday, and then everybody conjugating. You know, there's a big bunch of flowers, there's a cake and everything. So like in work when they used to do it to me, I just kind of join in and start doing like a little dance. So stupid, even more embarrassing. But I just couldn't fucking stand there and like not knowing where to look. You don't want to look somebody in the eyes. You don't want to look at them all like, you're so special to me, I'm gonna take you all in. Like, what? Where do you look? Just fucking turn around and keep going on the computer. Like, yeah. It's like
there's or no. Is there anything worse when you're like, somebody catches you like on Twitter or something, like if you're, or like on social media when you're like waiting for something, do you know what I mean? If like you're like, waiting at the doctor's or something, you're like, just gonna close all my apps here.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I have a bit, and it's a bit like reading a book. I don't really like showing people the cover, or like picking the cover up so that people can see the cover.
telling people what book you're reading.
Yeah.
Nothing more embarrassing.
It's like you're just fucking zipping your skin down and showing them your insides. Like, it's just now. But I'm the same with my phone. Like, if I'm in a waiting area, and I mean, it's not as bad now because of social distancing. Actually, like, it's paying off a little bit, this pandemic, you know?
Yeah.
But when you'd be sitting there, or you'd be reading an article, or you'd be watching a video, and you're just going, I know the person beside me can see me. I don't want it. Like, you just you'd rather not look at your phone.
No, I know.
It's just, it's like them kind of going, what's she looking at? You know, that kind of.
Yeah.
So don't like that.
Don't
Like that. Work in a restaurant and we are allowed to take meals for breaks. Always like I'm stealing. Ooh. Work in a restaurant, so they're allowed to take a meal. I used to work in a Chinese, and I used to be Scarlet, asking them to make me something, especially if it was a quiet night, and like all the chefs were standing around chilling. I'd be like, yeah, can I just get a black bean fucking dish there? Do you know what I mean? Because they used to give us a takeaway or like our meal for a break.
Yeah, you used to have your
me little Chinese.
Yeah, your Chinese. Yeah.
Oh, it was whopper.
Yeah.
That was fucking great.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be said for the meal going straight onto the plate, as opposed, because most of the time I don't really go out. When I go out for a meal, I don't go to a Chinese. That's more of a takeaway thing.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot to be said for putting push straight on plate. It's lovely.
Yeah. So someone said I was going to use the question box, but I've got a few. So here we go. Trying to get out of a swimming pool.
Yeah.
And you're just wet and sticky. Or you know when you try and go 1, 2, 3 and you can't quite like make it.
Yes. Oh, if you're not using the ladder, like.
Yeah.
Oh,
and you're
God.
like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
1, 2. Mum.
Yeah. That's not good.
Mum, can you get in here and give me
and do like such a
give me a leg up?
Yeah. Well, it was more when you were a kid. Like if you try to jump into the pool and try to look real cool and you flop. You know that flop sound?
Yeah, that.
It's more like, and you like everyone around the pool knows that it hurt.
Yeah, and you're like, no, I'm fine.
Like, there's definitely
perfect.
There's a pink patch on you somewhere.
I'm
fine.
I'm perfect. I'm better than. I love it here.
Yeah.
I'm actually swimming. When somebody opens the door for you, but you're far away, so you have to do that walk, that weird little walk run thing to get to them.
She understood the assignment. Yes, all of these.
Yeah, saying goodbye to someone and then walking in the same direction as them. Yeah. Being the last one at at a table in the restaurant and still eating.
Yes.
Oh, that's me all the time. So I don't acknowledge that because it's me.
That's me, ma'am.
That's me. So I don't think about it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't care. I'm literally like,
fuck it.
No. And last but certainly not least, queefing. Like it's just air and it shouldn't be embarrassing, but I'm mortified.
It always happens during sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mortified.
And like you always have to go, it's just air.
I didn't shit myself.
It's loads of air.
I didn't shit myself.
It's not stinky. It's like, well, if it went a bit slower, it wouldn't gather so much.
Jesus.
Fucking road runner there.
Oh my God.
Oh, stop. Walking past, oh, sorry, that's after jumping up. Yeah. Walking past a group of lads that are on bikes.
Yeah,
Why?
a group of lads in general, you're like, this is so mortifying.
Yes.
So mortifying.
Yeah.
Or, you know, when there's a big queue in the shop and you're like, you've got everything in your hands and you're kind of like, you have to walk down the queue and everyone's just staring at what you have in your hands. And they're like, oh, a bottle of wine and a loaf of bread and 3 packets of Maltesers. Interesting.
Would you?
And you feel like almost being like, it's not all for me. I'm not going to go home, drink a bottle of wine and make a Malteser sandwich. That is not what I'm going to do. Malteser sandwich. That is not my...
You should be embarrassed about making Malteser sandwiches.
Yeah.
Would you judge somebody for what they're holding in the shop?
No, I don't look at it.
No, well then I don't think that people would do it to you. Like
sometimes if I'm like at a conveyor belt, I'll have a look and I'll be like, interesting.
I look
not if they're getting a big shop. If they're doing like a small, you're kind of like, really? Tic Tacs and, you know.
That was the shopping list.
Tic Tacs and condoms. That's very interesting.
Yeah, I'm more so, when I look at other people shopping, it's for inspiration because I'm like very much the same shit.
Imagine, what are you making?
Yeah, just for a bit of inspo.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's
I'm
very
like, that's it now. Or you know when somebody has a real colourful shop, like when they have loads of fruit and veg.
And you're like, what are you?
Yeah, I know. It's like, are you gonna throw that out at the end of the week like I am, or
what kind of fridge
are
do
you
you have?
actually gonna? Yeah.
Where do you store it? What do you have it with?
Probably has a chest freezer. This is a secret. A chest freezer.
Wah.
Yeah. Or like a pantry or something.
Wah.
Using an umbrella. No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Memory unlocked.
When it's windy and it starts going inside out.
So when I started my job now, I like met my manager in town, and I brought my umbrella because it was absolutely lashing down. And like, please remember, we were not that friendly. We were not that friendly with each other, but I was only relatively new. And like we had to like share the umbrella.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
like
that. Yeah. That feels embarrassing.
Give me strength.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
No.
It's not. You don't like it. It's just like we don't like. It's almost awkward.
It's so like.
This shouldn't be embarrassing. We're both going to use the umbrella, obviously, but then it's like, who holds it?
Yeah.
Am I too close to you?
Am I leaning into you?
Am I leaning into you?
Off the path?
Is this a bit like romance right now?
I know, but then you can't be a prick and not let them.
No, but that's what I mean. You're hardly going to be like, you can walk.
I know.
I'll be fine. You just walking through. No, but you know, in that kind of thing where you're like, this is just, oh man.
Yeah.
Oh God. Here we are. And then you're like, oh, look at us sharing the same air and body heat.
I know, it's just weird, isn't it? I'm trying to think. I remember being down in Blanche Hospital once, and I had an umbrella, and it was starting to lash rain, and there was an old lady, and she didn't have anything like. Sorry, I was at the paying for parking. She was at the paying for parking, and she was going up to like the hospital, and I had to go in for my appointment, and I was like, it was starting lashing, so I was like, do you want to get under the umbrella? And she was really appreciative of it, and I felt like, I was like, this is so cute, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is grand, I'm delighted I could do this for her, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think she fucking got up and she was in the wrong part of the hospital or something. I was like, oh, now she has to walk back around, or like back to her car. It was the wrong day for her.
Or you know, when you walk the wrong
No,
direction.
do you know what it was? It fucking wasn't. No, she did get into the hospital, but I went further than her. We went our separate ways in the hospital, and then I finished my appointment and I came back through the x-ray department, and I saw an old lady sitting in the x-ray department, and I was like, how did you get on? It wasn't fucking her.
Saying hi to that memory unlock, saying hi to the wrong person.
She fucking looked, she got the fright of her life, Carla. I don't know if she was like a confused patient.
Yeah.
Do you know that she was confused as it was, and then me saying hello to her, because it was only when I looked at her face, I was like, that's not the same woman. Holy fuck. But she was wearing something that looked unbelievably similar to the other woman. That's why I was like, no, that's definitely her, until I saw her face. I was like, oh, and you're like, fuck.
Hi.
Yeah, that's what happened. I was mortified, because I was like, that's just sort of ruining our moment now earlier on.
Mortified.
Yeah, or waving at somebody who you thought was waving at you.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Or like, you know, when you're like, hi, and they're like, oh, hi, sorry, I was just chatting to, you're like, ooh.
Yeah.
Or, you know, when you're talking to someone and they have like headphones in and they like answer a call and you don't really know, and you're kind of still talking to them and you're just kind of sitting there like, do I stare at you? What do I do here? Stare at my hands?
I feel like things like that, though, we've all been in that situation, and I think we can all relate to each other. Unless we're a prick who's like, oh my God, I'm scared for you.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we can be fine with that.
He's crazy, the actual fact that I'm 27, I've just started doing driving lessons. I live in Leitrim and people are driving fresh out the womb here.
Oh, that's not embarrassing.
No,
I know it probably feels embarrassing. Yeah. It's like the L plate and that.
Yeah.
That was walking past a group of lads. When you bought something, but it broke, and you have to bring it back.
Yes, and you're like, hi, so I got this, and you're like almost over-explaining the situation.
Like, I didn't break it. That kind of.
Yeah, you're like, I didn't break it.
You feel like, yeah.
This knife, it just simply fell apart. I don't know what else.
Yeah.
It was not me. It was not me vigorously cutting onions.
Yeah.
Please take this back.
Yeah, I
And
know.
then by the end of it, you're like, do you know what? It's actually fine. I'll use it broken. It's actually better broken, probably. Oh, God. Hey, girlies, good topic. I'm a bit of a socially awkward bollock, so everything embarrasses me, but here's a few. When someone new starts at work and they're brought around to be introduced and you need to lead the conversation.
Yeah.
And where are you from? Oh, where did you work before?
Yeah.
Yeah. And where did you... No, I asked you that. Where are you from?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you did town. And where are you living? Living at... Oh, okay, yeah. And,
I know. It's not good.
star sign? Like, you don't know where to go.
Yeah,
You don't know where
I know.
to go. You literally don't. Going to the toilet and work, but someone you know walks in at the same time and then you get stage fright and you just can't go.
Oh, so I don't have communal toilets. Thanks be to Jesus. Have never been in that situation.
Actually, embarrassing. You know when you go to a toilet and there's like an excessive smell of shite in the toilet, but you have to use it anyway because you're like in the centre
Yeah.
or whatever. Or like there's in my office there's like a crack pipe or something, so the place always stinks. But at
Yeah.
some points it'll really, really smell. So like if you were coming out because the girl toilet and the boy toilet are in the same, like it's a tiny little corridor.
Yeah.
So like if you walk out at the same time as like somebody out comes out of the blokes and you're like, no, it smells. It wasn't me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It always smells like this. Do you want to come and check the sewers with me? I swear there's a crack pipe.
No, yeah, you just...
So yeah, stage fright and you can't go. Walking past a group of young fellas on your own. Yes, I
Yeah.
really feel that one. I think we've talked about that extensively before.
Yeah.
People singing happy birthday to you. Seeing someone you kind of know more than once in the same shop and having to keep stopping and going, ha, you again.
I hate that.
That is the worst.
Yeah. It's like I've already said it. Do you say hello each time you pass?
Or do you like make a comment on what they're buying? Or do you know? Few beers, is it, Sean?
We need to come up with...
Oh, look, you're getting crisps now.
I know. Like,
Right, little party you're having.
What's-
Where are you having it? Can I come?
what's the proper way to go about it? Like, we need an SOP on this. We need a standard operating procedure.
I was like, what's an SOP? Look at you.
Standard operating procedure.
Oh, education. Education.
What's the other word for it? Is it KPI or something?
KPI is a key performance indicator.
Yeah, something like that. Kind of the same, but no.
Not really, but anyway.
Kind of.
Just
Do you know what I mean?
I'm just going to shove a PDP. No, seeing somebody. Oh, yeah. So Zoom calls with awkward people who are no crack and everyone's just staring at each other smiling. That's the worst. When you're eating dinner out and the waiter says, how's your food? Or enjoy, and you say, thanks, you too.
Yes.
So
Or somebody says happy birthday and you're like, you too.
Yeah, and you're like, oh God. Going on a walk up a hill past traffic and you're trying to hide the fact that you're about to go into cardiac arrest. You know when you're going up a hill and you're sweating and you don't want, like, everybody in the traffic is just staring at you.
Yes.
They're just literally staring at you. Or no, the worst is when you press the lights and there's a big mad queue of traffic and you're just like, hi. Hi everyone. Just gonna walk across here now. Or you know when it's about to go yellow or red and you're just like that half hop, skip and a jump, like, are you
It's like that when you're walking down the road and somebody's walking towards you and you both go to step out of each other's way, but you
and you're
step
like, you look like you step up. Yo, whatever. It's like the chair dance and save the less dance.
Yeah. Stuff disgusting.
This is my favourite. When you move in your chair and it makes a fart noise, so you have to try and move the same way so you can be like, stupid chair.
Yeah, I know. Why do we overcompensate so much?
It's like, I know it wasn't you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hilarious.
Walking home carrying shopping bags.
Yeah.
I feel like getting off a bus or trying to get through a narrow door with shopping bags is just fucking horrendous. Like.
Yeah, and you're kind of like trying to...
Or like open the door and your hands are full.
Or you know when someone's like, do you want help? You're like, you're grand, but you continue to struggle.
And everything falls, yeah.
And you're like,
smashes everywhere.
I didn't want that yogurt anyway. No, it's grand. No, I'll get more milk another time. Eggs, didn't need them. The calf is just smashed up. Nah, didn't need that shop actually. It's just sitting there staring. You're like, nah. Chocolate milk. Makes sense.
Tomato sauce in the glass
The only thing that survives is your 6-pack of meanies. Right. No, that's what I'll be having for dinner. It's fine. You know when you drop something in the shop and it explodes and you're just like, clean up on.
Yeah. What? That happened to me recently. Fuck. Where did that happen? And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Yeah. It was, fucking always happens to me when I go to do a good deed for somebody else. I was after getting coffees in the shop, but I had like, I didn't get one of them, you know, the cardboard cup holder things, because it was more than two.
Yeah.
So
you
I
just
had
burned your hands.
I had one on top of the other, and then somebody had dropped their, like something, they had their hands full, and they dropped something, and I went to pick it up for them, and sure, of course, didn't one of the fucking coffees go all over the floor then, so I ended up being, like, their energy shifted onto me then, I just took the fucking fall for it, like, do you know what I mean? And your man is there, and I, like, the queue was long enough, so I'm standing there for the whole
And
clean.
you're just like,
and he wasn't
very
cleaning
nice.
it. Yeah, he wasn't very, I don't know, he didn't get the right tools to clean it. It took him
it's like you went and got
excessively long.
like you went and got the loo roll instead
Yeah.
of the kitchen roll or the
that
mop,
didn't
and you're
work.
like, oh
Yeah.
no, that one didn't work, and you're like, so am I supposed to supervise you cleaning up this mess?
And it's like you can't really help them.
No, that's the worst, because you're like, I don't have the tools right now to be able to clean up this mess.
Yeah, and he's like, no, go make
There's
another
a punnet
coffee,
of grapes
it's fine.
chilling, and I don't know what to do.
Oh yeah, and he's like, go make another coffee, it's fine, I'll do this, and I'm just like, oh my God. And like, this is again where I used to work, so like we knew each other from working in the different shops, like, so it was even more embarrassing because I knew him.
Because you're just like, great.
Like, oh, I'm fucking sorry, Tony, like,
Sorry, man.
really fucking sorry.
Man, I'm so sorry. So sorry, please. Girls, I write this story with sweaty hands on the subway. On the way to my favourite nail art salon in Chinatown, each time I go, there's a, will I be able to open the door today and not embarrass myself? First time I went, the door is on a buzzer. I buzzed, nothing happened. I couldn't for the life of me open the door. Everyone inside turned to stare at me. The girl at the desk had to come open the door. Okay, cool. Awkward. The next time I go, I'm thinking about how traumatised I am that I could not open the door the last time. So I buzz. Pushed the door down my force, and the girl at the desk, different from before, is like, oh, the door is on a lock system. Next time, wait to be buzzed in. Current day, now, what do I do? Do I wait to have the door opened and have every person in there stare at me again? And who knew? A door that could traumatise you so much.
I know.
Follow up, girls. There's a sign saying push, but it's still locked until they unlock it.
Fucks. That is just being awkward. And like, that's in the centre as well. You know when you go to the multi-story and you go to walk down the stairs?
Yeah.
There's a handle on the outside. There should never, if a door is a push door, it should have
A push,
a flat metal
silver.
plate.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the sign saying push. There should never be a handle on the side that you push.
No.
Every fucking time for about the last 10 years I've been pulling that door. And like, it's not embarrassing. It's not my fault. Maybe it is because I don't have the muscle memory for it. But it's like, I feel very embarrassed each time. But I still don't want to take the blame for it. Not my fault.
Not my fucking fault.
Not my fucking
Not my
fault.
fucking
Or when you
fault.
go like that, what that girl said, like when there's a lock system on a door and you just go to push, then you're kind of looking around for the bell, like you're about to rob the place.
You're like, yeah.
Yeah. Get me in. Somebody here said, when a car lets you cross the road.
Yeah, and you're like
You're
doing
doing
that
the
weird waddle
run
because you
walk.
don't know whether you just kind of walk. You don't know. You just
You don't want
know
to look
what
like an arrogant fuck by just walking.
Yeah, you
look
have to
like
do
it.
the hand, the big hand gesture, and the big, or you know when you're doing the zoomies with a car. You know when a car is pissing you off, and you and them are kind of doing the zoomies around each other, and you just like, you know, you're all like, you're swooping in and out of the lanes and doing whatever, and it's like, you know when you just have like a bugbear with a car, and then you make a wrong move, like you go into the wrong lane, and then you have to exit back. You usually use the indicator back into your lane.
Yeah.
Oh man, oh you're like,
Or when
you win this time.
when you make a big gesture
Aventus.
to be like, you were wrong, and then this is what I have to do now because you, and then it's just getting back into your box basically. Walking to your seat in a cinema.
No,
I don't feel that either.
I don't care about that.
I get the sentiment behind it though because it's a big crowd.
Yeah, you're kind of like, hey y'all.
I know a lot of people would feel like that. I don't give a fuck. Personally, walking into a restaurant / bar and looking around for your friends at a table, I hate that.
Yeah, and they're like, are you waiting? You're like, oh, my friends are here, and they're like, okay, where? And you're like, well, I
don't
haven't seen
know
the whole
yet.
place, Brenda. So,
Yeah.
are you going to give me a tour? If you give me a tour, I'm sure I'll be able to find them. Apparently, they're here.
Yeah.
Nothing worse.
I also get really embarrassed, you know, when you're in a shop and you're in the right aisle, you're in the right general area, and a member of staff comes over to you and they're like, can I help you with anything? And you're like, no, I'm just looking for whatever, you'll say it.
Yeah.
And they're right in front of your fucking face.
Yeah, they're like, you mean those right there?
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, Those Cocoa Pops, yeah. Yeah, if you could just, that damn little monkey. Anyway, give me that little packet.
Okay, somebody said, right, I don't feel like this, but I know a lot of people do.
Okay, go on.
Trying to open a tampon quietly.
I don't give a shit about anything like that.
Neither do I.
You know, when people are like buying condoms or buying tampons or anything,
No.
couldn't give a fuck. Couldn't give a fuck.
It's funny, I'm fucking Scarlett filling up my car with diesel, but I'm not.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Sanitary towels, don't give a shit.
I'll be in the cubicle, I'm opening a tampon!
No, do you know, I got my coil out back in end of April. So I didn't know when I was going to get a period again, what was going to happen. Hadn't had a period in a very long time. So I was just kind of like, what's going to happen? Unsure. So I went to Boots and I stocked up on like every type
possible.
Every type of pad, every type of tampon. Mm-hmm. I was just like, hey, they were like, what are you expecting? What are you doing? What's happening over here? Mm-hmm. I was like, hey.
Yeah, I would like to purchase these.
Put them in my basket, please. Yeah. Please and thanks.
I know, I don't really, and especially, well, it might be different if there was like what's the word I'm trying to use? Where it's like like men and women can use.
Unisex,
sorry.
Yeah.
Couldn't fucking think of it. A unisex bathroom. I know.
Multi-pack bathroom.
Multi-pack bathroom. Where, like, if men and women are using it, I can understand why women would be scared. I wouldn't, when it's, like, just where female identifying people are, I wouldn't be embarrassed.
Yeah.
Because we're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
And we all understand.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
But I can see why it's still, like, it's like having, it's kind of like, I suppose there's, like, you could say, why would you be scarlet about that? But still, I'd be scarlet about farting in a public toilet. Do you know what I mean? You know, like, if it just came out, you'd be raging.
You're like, oh no.
Yeah. But, like, everybody does it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, why would you be scarlet? But you can't help it. Accepting delivery, be a food or a package. There is always that awkward exchange, isn't there?
It's weird when it's like, especially they're kind of your age.
Mm.
And they're like, 4th trio this week, Carla, is it? And you're like, yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
That happened to me the other night. I ordered a Chinese and the fella was just really fucking happy to see me.
Yeah, and you're like,
I think he might have been drunk or high.
You're like,
I don't, like,
great.
He was just really giddy.
Great, man.
And I was like,
oh no, that's good, isn't it?
awkward.
Oh yeah, no, brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's gone well.
Checking others' cars for speed or of wipers.
Huh?
You know, I do this as well. When it's raining, but it's not heavy, and your wipers are going fast, and you feel like you're kind of being over dramatic, and then you're looking at everybody else's wipers to see how fast they're going.
I've never done that before.
Have you
in my
not?
life, ever in my life, not once. Mad.
Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
I get it. I relate.
Yeah.
Wearing sunglasses in the car, fine. Wearing sunglasses outdoors, I feel like everyone's looking at me.
Yeah. There is that. There's a bit of that too.
Yeah.
There is a bit of that too. I think we'd be here all day. Shall we move on to unpopular opinion?
Let's move on to Carla's unpopular opinion
of
of the week. Whenever you're ready there, Carla.
Oh yes. I found it. So I write them down because when I have the thoughts,
Yeah, same.
you know, I'm not Megan the Stallion. I can't just freestyle this. Do you know?
You can't just spit it.
I can't just be like with the beat, Max.
Yeah.
I do tend to lose a lot of respect for people who comment on celebrities' pictures.
Oh.
Do you know when you see someone being like, "You look amazing, Kim," like on Kim Kardashian, you're like, "Oh my god, I didn't know you were one of those."
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like hard eyes to like Kylie's bikini pic or something. You're like,
Yeah.
yo. And I know it shouldn't be that way. I shouldn't feel that way, but I really do. I do, Jen. I do feel that way.
Like, I'm all for, like, supporting other women or showing support or, you know, just bigging up other women.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
But I do know what you mean when you say you lose a bit. It's like they're trying to get noticed or something. Especially when they're like, I'm going to use an example, an Irish blogger with fucking 250k.
Yeah.
Them, it's like they're it's nearly like they're putting themselves in the same category of celebrity. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a bit like that, but it's, like there's nothing wrong with that either. But at the same time, they're nearly like, it's like what you said. We are going to do an episode on it soon. Parasocial.
Yeah, parasocial relationships. Yeah, I can't wait to do that.
It's nearly like they're treating them like a mate.
Yeah, it's like, oh.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's like, oh, Kimmy with the good hair. You're like, oh my god.
I will say, I don't know whether she is a character on EastEnders or something like that. Maybe she was Tiffany on EastEnders or something like that. And Kourtney Kardashian commented on her. She was sort of putting up a picture of her body or something like that, and she had this like unbelievable body. It was like she had really curvy legs, but she was like really thin waisted, and she just her fucking like she was like Jessica Rabbit. Her figure was
her proportions.
stunning.
Yeah.
And Kourtney Kardashian, I don't know how she knew her. I think there might have been, was she on like Celebrity or some sort of dancing show? I don't know how Kourtney Kardashian came across her, or maybe it was the hashtags that she used, but Kourtney Kardashian commented on Tiffany from EastEnders Instagram picture going, oh my god, you look amazing, or something like that, and she just wrote back and went, thanks chicken.
What?
It was fucking brilliant, and I wouldn't have even known that, only for like, I think it was her.ie or something reported it. It was fucking gas.
Maisie Smith?
Maisie Smith, yeah.
Maisie Smith?
Yeah.
She got commented on by
Kourtney Kardashian.
Stop.
And I don't know whether it was because she was on one of these dancing shows or was one of the hashtags that she used.
But that's what, do you ever see those things and you're kind of like, how what do you have in common?
Yeah.
Do you know?
It was probably a hashtag. Yeah. But she was just like, thanks chicken. That's fucking
so
gas.
fucking funny.
Hilarious.
I'm on her page right now.
She is.
Oh, she's cool, isn't she?
Yeah, she's cracking.
She's cracker, eh?
She's a cracker.
Cracker.
Have you got a stamper of the week?
Stomper of the week. Of course I do.
Have you got it ready to go for when I play the jingle?
One moment. Got a lot of notes here, Jen. We got a lot of notes on the pad here. Yeah.
Doing the elevator music. Actually, somebody said here before we move on, eating a banana. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, it's real conscious. Like, I like bananas. Isn't it funny how I'm
Especially
eating this banana? Gas. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's funny, isn't it? Yeah, I'm just eating this banana. Let me be.
In public.
Let me love you.
Yeah.
Let me love you. Yes, I have my stuff.
Okay, let's do it.
Kyla's Stomper of the Week. So it's called Skin to Skin.
Okay.
I don't know how to. It's R-E with an accent. C-E.
Reve. Is there a fodder in there?
No. It's a little, it's, the one it looks like a less than more than sign.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Is it an accent? What do you call them?
Greater. Oh, well,
Do you know, like, but it's on top, so it's like the hat.
Oh, yeah.
Did you get me?
Show me. Can
I'm adding it to the playlist before I forget, because I did that and somebody absolutely nearly slaughtered me. Can I click in without everyone hearing? Oh no, well, you're hearing it now. See?
Rive. I don't know. You know, like if father would elongate a letter.
Yeah.
Was that what that? Not what that does.
Is it Reeve?
Let's ask Google to pronounce it. Right?
Yeah. Why don't we do that?
If you type it in, if you long press the
Reeve.
Let's do this. Rive.
Dreams, it means in French.
Yeah.
So that's nice, but
Here we go. Audio in France, Paris. Rêve. Rêve.
So anyway, this song is
Canadian French.
Rêve.
Oh, I didn't know Canadian French was so much different.
Rêve.
Rêve. That sounds fucking
Rêve.
German. Oh, never seen a TikTok.
What?
I need to know the name of it first. So, there's this fella on TikTok, and he does this, like, he puts a face and a mouth on each country.
Okay.
So like,
oh yes, I've seen it. It's very funny.
yeah. So hang on, let me just see. For yeah, so he just basically he goes through all of the countries, and it's like, Spain, what word would you like to use for this building? And it's like hospital, and then it goes through all the different accents and all the different countries for hospitals. So like Ireland hospital, England hospital, Spanish hospital, French hospital, like all the sort of stuff. And then it's like, I don't really want to ask, but Germany? And Germany's words for hospital is Krankenhaus.
Krankenhaus. Get out the Krankenhaus.
Krankenhaus.
Get out the Krankenhaus, everyone.
What the fuck? Gas.
So she's Rive. Or no, she's Rive because she's Canadian.
Rise.
So she must be Rive. It's Rive's song.
Right. You sound like Christopher Walken. Right.
Rive's new song. Skin to skin. Everyone.
Skin
to skin. To skin. It's good.
Good
song.
Rive. We're delirious at all. We're going to go record our Patreon episode now. So I hope you join us over there, and we will talk to you next week. Bye.